What's up my friends? Today I'll be showing you how to make butter chicken from scratch the traditional way, but maybe with a slight twist. Let's see how it goes. So first we're going to add 2 teaspoons of garlic and ginger paste. Okay, now let's add in half a teaspoon of salt to taste, and then we add 1 teaspoon of kashmiri chilli powder. Next we're going to add a teaspoon of garam masala. That's got all the spices in it, so we don't need to add much more. Okay, let's give that a nice mix. Oil as well. Let's just get that in there. Okay, now we can give it a good mix. Once all the spices are nicely mixed in, we're going to cover it, keep it in the fridge, and leave it there to marinate for 2 hours. At least 2 hours, if you have time. Okay, so our next step is taking out the marinated meat from the fridge. And what we're going to do is what I call one-pot cooking. So what that means is we're going to fry the chicken in the pot, we're going to remove it, and then we're going to do everything in that single pot. Hope that makes sense. Let's start off by adding some oil. Let's get enough so we can get all of that chicken fried nicely. Not fully cooked, but just halfway there. Let's try and get these pieces in. As you can see, I use the thigh pieces, which I prefer, or you can use the breast pieces. It just depends on what your preference is. So we'll fry it for about 5 to 7 minutes. So I'll keep on turning it so it gets cooked all around. I can tell you now, this already smells good. And this is only phase 1. If it is thicker pieces, obviously keep it on for a little longer. If you're using chicken breast, yeah, it can be on for about 3 or 4 minutes. Alright, I'm happy with it now. Should be almost done. These are a bit thicker pieces, so I left it on for say around 10 minutes. I'm going to put it back in the same bowl that it was marinating in. Starting off again with a bit of oil. Now I don't use onions when I'm making butter chicken. So we're just going to go in with whole tomatoes. Not whole tomatoes, but not really diced, but just cut into big pieces. We are going to blend it later. So we're going to give the tomatoes alone itself about 5 to 6 minutes just to get slightly softer before we start adding any more ingredients. So next we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon garam masala, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Let's give that a bit of a mix. Next we add in some butter. It is butter chicken, so we're going to add a bit more butter in later on. 2 teaspoons of sugar, just to give it a slightly sweet taste. Now we're going to throw in some cashew nuts. Now let's add in some kasoori methi. There you go. So once the flavor is caught up on everything, we're just going to add half a glass of water. And we'll give it about 15 minutes and let everything get soft before we add it into the blender. And for the slight twist, I'm going to be adding this full cream buttermilk, if you can get it. Let's just mix that in. Once the 15 minutes are up, 15 or 20 minutes, we're going to empty it into this bowl, and then we're going to use the blender and get everything sorted out well and smooth. Now let's get blending. Okay, so next we're going to strain it back into the same pot. Now we want it nice and smooth, so this is going to help remove all the excess tomato peels, whatever is not ground too smooth. Okay, so once we sift out all of the unwanted tomato peels and everything, and we got a nice puree, we're going to add some more butter. That might seem a bit too much, but yeah, I didn't make enough gravy, or enough of the sauce, should I say. Okay, we're going to leave it on medium heat, and now we're going to add our chicken. And we're going to cook that for about 5 to 7 minutes and let everything soak into the chicken. Now let's give that a good mix and let it simmer for about 7 minutes. And once a few minutes are up, it is perfectly ready. Perfectly done. And if you enjoy butter chicken with naan, give this video a like and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, leave a comment at the bottom.